And some of the I will share Eddie Kine.
Me share quickly. The course for Gabon. In fact, I have a film kakra. Na enyame wawa say the ACE it may course. Because we share Gabon Bokosemo and I say for the past 2020 about 7 coups.
Yeah.
And they see your mime. Actually, BB say. I say a nine, a dear nine, a form. And before I make also no matter as usual, my professor de Bia Varo Timika Kra, a year Professor Demes, CEO, Confanochi, Mechiano Anopay, and a Nanajmai, Director General of NADMO, de Biano, almost so much Senepa, my advice, say a bar, Yen Church in Simoni and Shese de Ria or my Ghana, a bit to me a tumpon. It's said an Americano. Gabon, yes, you know, but and Yami Mama says, sir, because you're independent and check and Omsunya independent. In 1957, no, Omuri Republic 1960. I bought more than 2 about first president, a Leon Imba, a bear president, and now Omar Bongo, a vice. Unfortunately, money away. A few minutes or ascend it throne because also by press freedom AMINU-COMM and Metima Bijna ha make us say okay telino so we are demonstration be being koso o chrewa dwene ni na no o sizi za enyo no na Omar Bongo and na eye vice man he died of cardiac arrest. We and vice taking over. That is 67 watna swa edin shishe bebre near to about 7 years. Tell ye man paying kufoka air no senka extended 4 years no Senegal's with 27 years. Watna so sa into a woo and aneba esabe take over and also watna so sa and manabesi into a mummy and unquat now so 55 years. Inti wa wunim say the sequel sabiu enye monarch omumi no to create dynasty for the past 55 years 55 years e bin see that inti na enye me wan say the course no yeah Lord Atkins o kan bibi o say power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. It's the more would national lazy fair when him say bibia but I'm for one cheremo the omo fam no and you be na wo fam and untina Yera Kennedy yari ataso ye sink it say ye bebo so na ya bonichi dom enti Gabondian enya hwe ye emma the neighboring countries na West Africa mono or Central Africa but o hwe esuro ho nyina ku so what is happening? That's the question. Maybe I more details. Maybe you go your name no. You be say come once. Just to know a population of 2.3 million. Ashanti region crowd also change 1.4.
Oh, no me afia bi o.
Oh running na 3 point something. Into running na be 3.4 million. What I say?
Into bufu class o kaso chinkro ni
na 2.37. Two running na be 2.4. Inti Sebi Ashanti region kwan ye does show mu ina. Inti bufu kra be
chinkro o man money na mwesi.
Inti chere say omumpo no na hwe ye 33 million na komodi amanfo ni ade. Inti ye koso a ne ahwe say ye mpenfo no mfa onansi fom no mo hwe say de be bi say ahye nyoma yie na youth na eba no obewi school kakra no obetime anya bibia ye. Sa bam dia menya sure say bibia sa ebetime asi but ahwe yie ma ye pa say we need to sit up na ye hwe say youth no ebetime anya bibipa e dey amom. So on that bit on that no kakra metime aka afa sa Gabon issue na ho.
Okay, me da so wa ban pom to say
takramada bodwum na mujanso edi afusani as usual the human selection menu anya bi me ankasa me party MPP essential running the affairs of this country, you know. Here for ne mubruhu for chefa a woman, by God's grace, policies and programs of the party, you know, come. Except that the only problem of Ghana is NDC, their members of parliament and their executives who sees nothing good about near Ghana. At least say no matter because of talking the end of heaven once I'm now parking. As human, and we live in this planet called Earth, and I say you know in BBI friend world no dear BBI uncle torty sir BBI be kono torty and send your pedia and ye whom here so be kwakojina masala cha na say asori dem tonum tontom nyankopon. No, what am I say? And in the wisdom of the creator of the universe, you know, who say nipa odidi me and we feel home. And you know, or more ups and downs, and in his wisdom, no, or more bibia, and one woman say, electricity meter above fee, I will guarantee sale. Mobile phone credit, I won't some guarantee sale because so we send me baba ketwa, me baba penny masurura 1 year 8 years. We send the code to know you creditor or niaka. On any network, I'll be natural. But if you ask her the code to find out her father's days, the rest of the years, that one, put him on one. So that is just by the by, Minia.
Okay, all right. You share an
say, Ja, and say, oh, say, me no one share the same field in Tino, a coban, son, Monkwana, Majumadia, Moody. Me buy and beto, Unia Foxy, or to her, or to a reception ho. Watch be a brand you could see him.
And pay watch out with one movie or so movie. Oh, maybe we want me, we say, hey, Foxy night also charming pause. Some catch us, bra, Alan A. Event say, team can now say, a whole party name. So, watch out dinner. Watch out, Foxy didn't yourself. Can I read? I say, I know, the media campaigns, you can't wash and treat your Foxy. Story our mount is different because say we a morning party. I was morning. That's all that's what you some boy studio make us some boy. What do I say? You know, me no ye camp back one abe wo area mo ko amudi. Mudi. Na me so me de ba e ho na ebi hu na ebi si ayo yanko anyway
everybody na me bra kan about the coup in Gabon. Me nua na America chira you see I am surprised say coup happen other countries then the youth we exhibit our naivety about what coup entails. Me nua correct. From the day the first coup d'etat in the African soil was organized in 1963, when Iti Iadema, later Obeye Yasimbi Iadema, Omo Oste Sylvanus Olympio, free Akonyano so in Togo, the reason has been the same reason across the length and breadth of Africa of any coup organized BIA. It's all borders about corruption, it borders about nepotism, it borders about all just the negative things you won't be associating with democracy. But in the end, they come to do worse things. Now, the worst form of democracy, the worst form of democracy, at least it guarantees us the opportunity to also vent our anger by speaking our minds freely. And now me did me say the mania lifting kwano meti studio na my best na say na my so President Akufo-Addo na my super said ya me pena ma kwatena fie, nobody cares. That is courtesy what democracy. Even in its worst form, when he does things I'm at liberty to say what is in my mind. But say you can say military junta, the first thing you can say military taking over the state. The first thing I was out here saying is the executive, the first institution that any problem here, the executive. After the executive, the legislature.
Now the only institution that the judiciary, and even with that, no, a kangaroo one. Any case bordering on states, Libyano, I know the military junta decide what should be done. But Nyakana Mujama, the judiciary, no, a body case, ne, Foxy, no, Eddie, Ken, media, Sikadi, Durachi, the judiciary to talk about those things. What am I saying? But any major case is determined by the so the third one, they say the media, which is the fourth estate of the realm, become redundant. You don't have, you are not at liberty to say it the way it's supposed to be said. And you know, these media guys are in there, they become superstars. And what is a big media platform? So now when you are Kufado, when you are Minister B, now we are Lambastino. When they tell Lieutenant Colonel Foxy, in charge of finance, who dare you to come and talk about budget? Why? By the end of the day, you know your level. What am I saying? Yeah. By the close of that very day, your media house and you yourself, you know your level. So I don't know why. Media, one thing I say, and I say, look, for us to live in peaceful and harmony, exercise our democratic rights, we should always cherish democracy, even though it is not the best of governance. But there is no any alternative that has gone beyond democracy. Yeah. The young fan is for the time being, but earlier, this was what happened in 1963 when Nkrumah was addressing African Union, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, and was all expressing a worry about these coup d'etats. And he pointed certain leaders and told them point blank, say I'm building the United States of Africa, and we are not careful. Meaning, these people will come after us. They listen to him not. And soon, Tafawa Balewa, Kwame Nkrumah, and Amadou Ahidjo, the rest of them, you name them, everybody that Nkrumah pointed his finger at was still consumed by coup d'etat. And that was the backwardness of Africa where it started. What am I saying? And I am very peeved when I see these things happening. And maybe America, the most useless organization I've ever seen in my entire life. Organizations are moving in my entire life. AU, ECOWAS, and all the regional blocks created in the African continent, they are useless. What am I saying? Now one day, Nigeria, Africa was seated. Well, ECOWAS was sitting looking at what was happening in Mali, Burkina Faso. They did nothing. Niger started. They came in. Now it's Gabon. So it is now like frequent. Coup has become like breakfast, which is dangerous to Africa. Now, these Abrofi, they are gone. We condemn. No attention. No condemn. Because they know when Africa is consumed by illiteracy, under the guise of military personnel, what am I saying? They cannot reason far. When they are going into an agreement with this Abrofi, they cannot think far because they have no idea of what is happening. Now Abrofi, the clauses are back. No, they are ashamed. Then they confiscate or loot our resources. That is very dangerous. And maybe other worry about these landlocked countries. Mali is a landlocked country. Burkina is a landlocked country. Niger is a landlocked country. And you are here making noise. And the saddest aspect of it all, correct history, which country did Russia colonize? In it, the whole world. No country. You are now running away from your colonial masters, which is the France, and willingly subjecting yourself to Russian colony. What did you so ebi nanka jabine ewa ye de yansa twise ebeko na Johnson ewa disaster. You are now willing to sell, in fact, submitting yourself to Russia to colonize you. And the danger here is that which I am praying that day shouldn't come and meet me in the African soil. I should be dead by that time, because Africa is becoming a war zone. Because any country that is moving towards America will always close itself to America, and these countries closing themselves to Russia also will be there. So when there's America will come to the aid of their people, and then the Russians will come. So Africa become the battling ground. This is clearly what is happening in Africa, and I pray that by that day, as I in Africa, maybe who say Airbano, WAHAB should be, the name should be in the list of the dead and gone. And this idea, I will not want to witness that sad day, because here Africa, your army, here what we spend on our army, look at the accoutrements. Even Nigeria, which is the largest now accoutrements are one state in America can take about 100 times of it and come and give them to Nigeria. Yet intermediate mesre say we are branche na say we NDC na we MPP na say we huti or minor yedin, and we want the army to take over. So we NDC at the point, and they say now soon as the military take over the government, they will not give it to NDC.
But do you think the France, the way our money these colonies are colonizing could also play a role in some of these coup d'etats, basically most of these French-speaking countries. And now say, leaders are also for that.
You see, Ghana, and Chirawadi, your kind of independence Ghanaians took from the Britain is different from the one the French-speaking countries in Enya from France. And to be quite honest with you, you go and queue at Britain embassy looking for a visa to go to Britain. The year will go through and sana when your visa no compared to Nipa or France are open krata over Cote d'Ivoire and Burkina and Mali are open krata your friend say France no easier than in the and don't forget, when was the first time? I mean, the last time. When was the first time? What they say? You see, Ghana, your budget. America, UK, EDC, support your budget. It is never done. But virtually all the French-speaking countries, one more budget. France have a certain percentage of amount via one. But let me tell you, this is the time these countries also almost the stable economy. When a price of this phone, say Nigeria, 20 Ghana cedi last year, this year is 20 Ghana cedi, and every store in France, no, the same price now. I'm telling you, their economies will crash. They are going to go through difficult times. And back to you, Wasama Ubusano. Yes, one former leaders, any the way I want to, but this current crop of youth being spearheaded by the ignorant army around their countries, are putting them in danger which they don't know. Going forward, they will know their real levels as citizens of that country. What am I saying? Because Abrofono, Russia now, said they are now submitting themselves to them. No, nobody is Abrofono. They don't do. They are not Father Christmas. Oh,
yeah.
They are not. They give and what and take. Yes, no, they mifaji. They are not Father Christmas because why? We are not only for the taxes now. They are not free born too. What in the American for Kayana? In every transaction, in every deal, American first. Now what you have here? They are not for the Christmas.
And
the say, I am praying and I hope that the Ghanaian military leaders, they will not go to this a year. At least Ghana, we've had our share of democracy and our fair share of what?
Coup d'etat.
Yehun bibia edi yekoyeden ekusiye mfaso bia anyeden amaso. What am I saying? We lost sons and daughters of this country through some frivolous excuses. In the end, this same military junta that killed people because of 5,000 cedi, 5,000. No, this same military junta came a civilian government, formed a government, and the minister in that same government, headed by this same military junta, who came to with a civilian, built a house, and even the door of that house we used to say remote. In those days, so what happened? Today, everybody in this country is corporate, including auntie nearby. I don't know, maybe what here. The public service workers are running away from being Ghana card. And I want to hear because many of them are receiving double salary. And you know, sir, if biometric it will expose you. So many people are running away. Public service workers. Public service workers are running away because controller and accountant general say try at the end of the day, at the end of every month, we have to do something about it. And the best way is to use the Ghana card to find truly who these people are, to know our number. You see 140 something BDA, they are ghost names, and this is how let's not put it on the politicians alone. If Ghana will move forward and we don't even need a military intervention.
That's WAHAB 101.1, so 10 minutes to 10.
Yeah, maybe on that French issue, because in Gabon, French colony.
Yeah,
and now make us say the way I treat your mono, and yes, Anglophones no treat ye. Yeah, dear who ye, budget parliament approval. But French-speaking countries apart from some oil, natural resources on budget, it's been approved by the French. What I say? So when and new man free say it's high time because they are republic. But then a new man more Republican is not being achieved. So that nobody is advocating for a coup or something, but I just made a reference. Say it's about time I see a city up near ye new maybe now me break Ghana so ye call budget no almost supporting UK supporting ye will department be a friend DFID Department for International Development omo di biba Danida Denmark omo di biba USAID omo di biba ebe supporting, but also French for now omo ni bargaining power. They don't better negotiate and answer negotiations and inti SCC na koso bibre and omo free say it's about time e so omo di omo say Ghanaians di omo no yeah budget yeah their parliament ya bobo ho ye free say we are touchma we koye ya approval, then we move on. What I say intina memfan say peculiarly starting from the French speaking countries no, and to going forward no if say you strengthen because Ghana beacon of democracy be brain shaying and an all kind no in fact unti fa the richest dictatorship and fan to the poorest democracy home. It's never done anywhere. It's young koso ni say freedom na enjoy no, freedom of speech, freedom of whatever ni na no sa freedoms no yen say bit me tikakra me de ka ye bra de no.
All right, young call other issues your NPP super delegates conference no on afraid the elite tape of Bugri Nabu and some police officers. Wahab. Yeah, go ahead.
I started from super delegates conference. I think NPP has done it again. In fact, last week's Saturday made me to understand, indeed, this is a party that believes in democracy and full of surprises, and that makes it why we are called a new patriotic party. Meaning, last week Saturday, from the start of the whole exercise, stakeholders, consultation with the national executive, the NEC activeness, the election committee, meaning Obia play a very vital role. And at the end of the day, the
people who supposed to be among the first 5, yenya 4. And the 5th person has also entered the realm. Yeah. That is AMINU to make it 5. Now, first of all, I commend the national executive for the human job on the I've not seen the national executives, the current national executive, following any of the candidates to his campaign tour. None. And they were strict on all decisions on where they take here. And the national election committee, one ruler, one player was also fantastic. And then the stakeholders, as in this case, the various aspirants, one ruler, one player, was fantastic. Then the delegates they went and they also demonstrated that they are members of the New Patriotic Party that thinks about the future of the party. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Surprisingly, the team will be expected at all costs will come second. That is where the surprise came. Ira Kennedy Okompreko, that we know at all costs, some of us were tipping him around 4th for 3rd.
Yes,
surprisingly, he came second rather. It's sort of the 3rd or 4th that some of us were placing him. So it tells you that.
So would you call that underrating?
No. T. We say, underrated Ira Okompreko. You are doing that thing at your own risk if you are a politician. But me, at the time election, I placed him say, I always put Ira Kennedy Japan say he will be within the 5. But winning the 10 in 20 on the 4th of November is another ball game. When we get there, we know who will be winning. But for my main resource and the gap between only the 3rd person, I least expected it, to be quite honest. Maybe we saw within the 5. But in the end, we're being at second. It tells you that he was also a submarine aspirant. Nanka, the say if Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Niwa seni IED nanka you are Kenny Jinemua or Kwa no. But I so be an master. But meanwhile, your election bia obeko biano. Where everywhere in the world a warning 100%. There will be some misunderstandings and other things. But maybe I'm here shocked when I saw a video of Honorable Kennedy Japan. Showdown, Viva. And then you say, and I said, China, showdown, showdown, everyone crying.
Showdown.
Only to be told later to hear from more campaign.
Sorry, Saturday.
Okay. Only to be told, say, it was a miscommunication from the team. That is why I heard from your campaign manager also. So I said no, he was misinformed. But
not at all. There
was no misinformation.
There was not. I mean, so landing that me a clearer view of the whole thing.
So right now, it ended up that more campaign, agent was not thrown out. At least there was your agent was there from the beginning up to the end of the show, and in the end 130 something be APM fire. So we are going into November 4th. From where I sit, I think that it is already job done from our camp, that is the Bawumia camp. We are done with the whole issue, judging from history. And the surprising thing I make kind of say, two new candidates, their first time, have emerged first and second. So it goes on to say, in MPP, no, it drew me so, if I do this, I do that. It's not the case, but how relevant your contribution and how close you are to the delegates, you know. Because election year, who say some delegates, some aspirants don't even have stronghold. Because when we went to Central Region, even though you defeat him by around 6 vote margin, no, but you improved there. What am I saying? We also say the stronghold here, Ashanti Region. What am I saying? We gave him 97 as against 10. Then the second stronghold we're told is Volta. Or went to Volta to, it was at par. So I begin to wonder which of you, and Rebecca say a stronghold, we've taken over that place too. Now, one thing I may say about right now, you say iska. Canada Japan so iska. But I then ask myself, in this contemporary politics, practicing will be you don't go and ask a delegate to come or to leave his work and come and sit and listen to your good news and ask him to go. Then at the end, they call command the family. So for the whole day, you've wasted his time. I made amount for billions of cedis. Amount ni pabaku 1 billion. Yama we say. But you see, one thing I make a try part in, so we must be very, very careful with the way things are happening. Elections, one person will win. Now, the way our normal echo and a way PS and a way say, you are only trying to tell people that you are the only angel and I say the only stranger in the African politics or in the Ghanaian politics. Because if opposition party echo organizing the presidential primaries or catch the contestants be also on tier 500,000 Ghana CD, Titisika 5 billion. Then you tell me, say, in elections, of this magnitude, Sika, Tia, now say TNT, Tia, and Kahwa, then I'm surprised. But me, as a man, I can say, this is a party we all belong to. A party, Obibia as presidential or parliamentary candidate, a presidential candidate for this party, will campaign on the foundations and also on the achievement of this Akufo-Addo Bawumia government. You have no record to rely on until that, or use their own. Just as before 2008, you see the records of His Excellency John Agyekum Kufuor. 2012, we used the same record. 2016, it was the same record we were using to tell Ghanaians, say, so now we've built up upon it. We now have new things this current government has brought. And I was saying, your tone and your commentary. When we have the microphone, they're very dangerous. If the microphone is before you, you can't say, they record in my one say you can't wait. You did not know, say, the influence of a microphone, and you journalists, munya kunya na mo punch bibi na obi na ohwie gu osa obewie na why damage e dey ama party ni nyina. And media, I am very happy and I'm glad, but to land at least MPP AMINU, which among for Gaza is an Akan party, Omuka say Akan now. Some of them narrow it down to only Ashantis, but they don't know, say the Akan tag includes Fanti, Achems, and everybody in the Zimafumina. It's a broader AE. But today the MPP has shown me, from what I have seen, and
one thing MPP, which I believe they will prove John Mahama wrong, going in on November 4th, and they say in John Mahama ewo Jirapa. Say these, I say MPP 4. I will say I feel sad for my brother Bawumia. They will use and dump him, and per the results I mean who idea. It is the other way around. Let's just say the prophecy of John Dramani Mahama atonsium, and I hope and believe that nothing will change. You reckon in Japan will maintain his second position, and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will carry the day as the flag bearer of the new patriotic party.
All right. Ziggy.
Yeah, I say you know Anisha say on a very good note, but if baby na wa digress kakra. It's say me set the record straight. Na fi am saying na ehu. Yes, I say with a very good it said the kind of committee no making sure say Bibia was intact. Am I nyina eji to mo because in the free say Bibia be come fine. Now make us say you share the caliber of people who went and vote. Why more the constitution or more constitute 950 or 60 no. Why ministers? What I say MPs, a party chairman, and a Kotoaba. Ministers as an be appointed. You have supposedly may other opponents will hand in selection of a minister. Yeba MP Susua, they've been promised of huge portfolios near the adi. And I yeba party chairman, MP, any chairman, they are one. Me a constituency executive. Ye party chairman only MP and a TC. So that it was 90. After research by now about 84. After the Koto about agronefo. And unti and a money basa. Now may can be say what really happened may for the course so except small intimidation be a sea northeast. And then it's missy sir. Is it because a whole and a large maumba a free and into a home corner yafa party and ran yajmana? Ya can say ya tuni petemu. You understand? Muslims you be pity. Take her and she to giddy. Yet everything went on well. The Echo School, dining hall, and close place, of which it wasn't. But situation be a seer. I mean, you share. I mean, way out with me. I'm making sure that things goes on. And now, yeah, to abano. And now you say, oh, to abaria, men fancy. What? Because it influences because original election. Yes, indeed, the oncophobia or motiwa or motikem, kona kuchabra, nabejuska, because they don't trust the electorates. Well, what I say, and to call na utu we are trying to indications and what I mean, Nipania Mosca. So, sir, Emrawi na ye kase, and ni say, son, your man share the basso. But a home quadie, now air coso. Now, the American say, party, be and I say aspirant, be no, 2 agents. Ebiana obi ni yemkra kano koye ne huyi na ba kono astepin I can nipa ojinae ajia yeko Ashanti region omba and I happen to be among the team and yeko ajia yo bia na ni edin ye pa on ne bebo momo abra ye candidate eba very vociferous enti de yeko so na ajia insist said no adi we emfa kwem meanwhile no na Alan candidates no so protect the same thing at the end of the day share moja ye from nipa ye ho ehifa and asade ni na see the whole of that 16 regions na ye to ye no adentia so eho and you see it me hwe nsem mu ye enti ekoso no no nse na oye oba be mamponi and ye ni say and order for moto or this guy say no what I say eno odwane and my second person no eba ebehwe na even mpo ye to abani wie na ye kan no okase onsan they wanted to bribe him what I say eno say sebio kana me di na chi no enye sika nti na me di na chi enye papa ewoni mu enye papa ewoni mu o de bregana ama youth enye enuma ye enu nti na me di na chi enti me nsan So at the end of the day, and on sign there, you better lock it no. Obeje kwaya, you be pee. It's a pee, no. And no, yeah, call. What I say, because of being candidate power, and of friend say, the number way near cost. And I said, you, me bread, I've been a polling agent before. My coach now say me defend the MPP. Now say the 206 kind of giant air brand me. Now say me free party chairman and as MPP ni pay ni be said the bay and the actions. Every to me, I rescue me. What debars me from doing that? And indeed, that action now a PA, and a man candidates, a far phone. Through the conversation, no, can say, you better show down.
It was on Man FM and a friend.
That's right.
Well, so it was an interview, no way.
That's right.
So we now on that video never circulated. Ne on your Man FM.
Exactly. That time
we not change the video yet.
A video yet. And aside the number, so I'm here. A young Crawford MP because they were going to be lynched. But the point is that assault you be causing harm. I mean, your brand just here, me sana me the bonus say causing harm, a criminal offense. A man democrat made them bear up to 3 years. And why must you go and harm somebody in the first place? You have video nearby no. Nipano ya yenum eye surgery. So a cry Alan echo hono. And easy. So the point is that why would pay for that is regional police for the inactions of the policemen? You see, you can't criminal and you over tattoo and yes, I may sometimes when it requires of you to act omission makes it criminal. So the point is that some way and you see going forward no. Where the Maka category of people are going to Oma did ya mean a be also 7 years being ministers, being whatever. Oma mean only problem here. But the other form now for the past almost 7 years no. Onya she you know. What I say, Omu and a quakoto, Omania bring ye. Omuneko make it change no. And indeed, Oshe Abane Akoto yena 0.047 or running now 0.0 let's say 0.5 0.05 and you even 1%. And as that caliber of people weighing now, indeed, Oma did ya mean what you say. So it tells you say eba a form agrone form show agro down a form so agrone form it come 4th November a ho and a microphone in a baba approve say indeed MPP and whoever to say the all canon your back one shot the CA yaw dear be a med because I put myself in the shoes of the person. Seriously, some may quack share me candidate. Now look at this intimidation. Any other day, honocrano now and crophobic brain is or mubaho or ma fladeho. I don't know. Sabio, ain't ye going forward no because at the end of the day, Kojina, whoever emerges no, who ye Kojina, the new ma paniso. Of which say for shots here and another shots here. Why you my pee? But we can still do better. And until now, Kennedy say, me what vision I made eba. The vision is so big at the end of the day. A bema the teaming youth no because me catch I don't know my master this say free SHS by EBA JHS4 movie it started from 400,000 it do 500,000. So look at the yes, it's in the stream no more than 1.2 million and Crawford airball we are churning out. Or we let's say a bibe drop it about 300,000 be next 2 years and yuma ewahin and untina or say or the innovative way in the vision our car or deba our branding is set tax we share technology what is share agro processing you share tourism you see a new way in because of tourism Marco Dubai before where Arabs no omutu oil chain will be out but the one who say exhaustible it means so other avenue ben revenue other avenue ben na me de beba beka the oil na me to ne ho na metimi akomanim enti eno nti na sebio ye di na chigidi na odi no kodwa ye to me say amanfo aye bread and then the pictures ashisheshe ho na me say show down kra no ya adwin say next week at the end of the day efekeke me say wo de boom ni pe bets form enye organical
but the show down for cash out for home power
Yeah, unfortunately, as I'm cash on break, I can't intimidate.
I'm not for cash. Now, why is Papa and some making money? It's me making money. I'm telling you.
Oh, as a man maker is there, you know. Ken is an asset. Yeah. I wouldn't say because of politics. He's not an asset. What am I saying? He's an asset. MPP has a very good asset, and that is why some of us are advocating that when Vice President Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia becomes the presidential candidate, the entire Western, Northwest, and the Central region will be taken care of by Honorable Kennedy Ohene Ejapon to maximize vote. No, because if we are to win, Central Enclave have to be devoted to Honorable Ken, and I believe he will just be called Honorable. Even though we went to a contest, I've won, but these 3 regions belong to you, and he will deliver them for us. So we don't see that. But maybe problem is the call now about Honorable Kennedy Ejapon Honor or acting was not when after elections. Maybe it was during. Yeah. So your analogy that the woman was forced to sign or whatever issue.
I said the woman was forced to move out. And the man, second person.
Yes, because why was the second person not harassed? Perhaps now Hajia, he mentioned Hajia is very vociferous. Yeah. And very and knowing these Zongo ladies when they are into politics. My brother, they are more aggressive, but who said aggressiveness, was too much for her, perhaps based on the action. But the other person that came in, what must say, me believe say you are Kennedy Ohene Ejapon only was misinformed.
No. I know I beg to differ. I beg to differ because initially other radio station because can't say Upper East. You see, a woman misinforming nipa. Yeah. What I say. But you see, share abana ya tu region bay ena obi anya bi. Inti sabi 9 aspirants obi anya bibia kra wo North East wo. But what is had it not been that intimidation?
North East and the left easy. What should the person of the man? I almost say good to know to abaru. You have to say them how and a windows and a wow. Into booth no Oba be jina say na wo wato into wo chichiri window no honso na regional chairman jina over easy order for we are mama kwa order na you dey be safu man order for safu no this my phone this time is from my panel order for we are in a technological era where pictures and videos can easily be taken depending on the angle you are. What am I saying? I believe Yura Kennedy Ejapon, Yura Alan Kojo Chermantin, Adenimo and Co have their reps within the northeast. So at least with my mobile phone. What must I say? Direct. Maybe I can zoom you. Now foul clear. What must I say? So I wonder when these stories are coming out, but there are no evidence to buttress them.
Not East Minister, I can't say chairman. I'm not talking about Alan Nipano. Argentina party.
Yeah, Alan Nipano. I think I'm saying is it a youth organizer?
No. Someone has said answer youth organizer never twice. What's the party now condemning activists?
That is one problem I have with the party.
Party say nipa as soon as not painting a year. I mean, no, yet, mama. Nipa no yet, mama. What say you will, no, I can't be Anna. And on my boom, what should be about easy.
With this issue, I make okay. I am not saying say whilst you are in the boot, you are told not to send a phone in the boot. But for me, for my argument's sake, so that may tumbrino, person may be tumbria. Now my see. You say original chairman no war. tokro no meboa. So the setting no me say this technological era me give me mobile phone. Benya, this is the original chairman. This was the angle he was, and this was the boot. Automatically, but don't forget. Maybe point I make is say let's even put Northeast aside. Obia bodamo or bodam free fee. And I recommended Yola Kennedy Japan. Onya 19 was Central Region.
That's right.
It tells you that he is in weight in the region, no, very strong. Yet the Northeast man overtook him by 6 votes. Or is it 7? Because
I think there was 6. Onya 25 against against 9. So 6 votes. What must say? Even in the own backyard, even though he had performed. What must say? Which some of us were not surprised. I am only surprised because he should have topped that region. Looking at the powers in that region. The framers of the constitution of our party had the wisdom in saying, showing some categories of people when the election, when Yekwako take this decision, should be allowed to take those decisions. What must say? So many some can say umudidi me and so umudidi me no. At the end, no, the framers of the constitution didn't say we may be in power or maybe out of what power. Until mama KVA sir, and I said a group of people are meeting me or meeting me at Tuabano. For me, I don't want this say TISICA intimidation anyway because I know Honorable Kennedy Japan to win us Central Region, Western North, and then Western Region. I know he can deliver it. For that one, that's one that he's an asset. And I say, I can't send Bia. I always run away from secretarial intimidations and other thing. Because Honorable has been my mentor since then, and I like his style. What am I saying? Hadn't been because my man Kennedy, a friend saying, DMB is in the contest. What am I saying? I would have been one of the vociferous communicators. Many free ruler come out. If the president is speaking his mind, and I'm a communicator, also I want to speak my mind, and go and ask the president. What am I saying? But we should know how to manage these things. Surprises are bound to happen. But from where I sit, I see Baumia. But if young fella say, Anka own or your polling agent, no?
That's right.
That Ajia, put yourself in Ajia's shoes.
Or therefore, I want to make Bahono. Me person or no, put in itself
in Ajia's shoes. Say, what could protest it and Bibi Okohono, what is happening is not right. It goes against the rules and regulations that govern elections. So you've drawn the attention of whoever is in charge as if they've overlooked it. Now, as there is that threat on your life, you've managed to escape. What threat maybe our candidate? Then our candidate react the way honorable reacting. Would you say
knowing my candidate? I'll present the vivid story of what happened. One, I have contested, Mema protested for this, but because Omuntia said I have led, but or therefore is in. But to create an impression, say she was chased, and that particular polling station, no, Honorable Ewo hopes in that polling station, say he will make it there. Obenya a very respectable resource from that area. He will go haywire. What am I saying? But if Uncle the Twas to say, oh, me or therefore is sitting in me as your first choice, you know, I am out, but your second choice is in the seat.
Whoever was taking charge.
No, but in the rules of election, in your he has been a polling agent before.
Oh yes,
so you always know your seconder.
Oh yes,
I'm the first choice. But and I said, me brand first choice. I'm his seconder. I'm always behind him. Maybe far away from him because so the soon as he is preparing to leave, pop, I come into the arena, then he leaves. When he comes in, then I go back to my original position. So me, I still stand by my words that Honorable Kennedy Japan, knowing him, no, he was missing from that call for the action. No. Only I told him, say, your second choice is in the seat. He wouldn't have even responded to
that. You see, the Aminu Refini say, Abba the Botechino. You see, it's equally at Baba because Semina Mene, not some mechanic. I'm being chased out. Now, Sebi, first lot on ya bonne so maybe point is say, Sebi, assault ne the money panel, not police for Tijuana. The questions are FC Bisaya Mono. Nipana, ya bo nenisono, Yachi Ubiana. And your questions FC Bisa. What I say in law, your friend will be attempt. Surprisingly, Yanjubia. You invite Tobia from a whole to the disciplinary committee. Perhaps was not against the it's unfortunate. We chase you be when you invite the most and that is why Ajia in seminar all canon and I said the story me bra person me believe will not come. It's not the real thing because where northeast incident you say ya bo Bema in the northeast ya bo Nipa any we seen the pictures. Rafael Safo Kovoti I say Wikipedia issue the video and then everything came. We realized that it wasn't so. Now, say Bema is true. Na say ni kurampo ayede ahono. Then Ajia koyo nchene awayira won kwa. No evidence. Now, group personally, Ajia could not tell us. You see, there's another way. Story in the banana so here as on the phone of movie baby say. Yeah, come you see, what I think you're so glaring. Maybe there be Safon camera. Yes, because that even makes my case simple. Who chased Ajia out? Ajia should be able to. Because only Mobia in that area. Who chased Ajia out? We are not. Don't confuse two things. The other one I assume a different area with a different country. But the point is that we are talking about Ajia here. How we are talking about Ajia misleading Honorable Kennedy Japan. Everybody around before you know there is a police station I do a call to go and man it. Maybe I'll call him. Though it is within your locality, but bet me about say Ebia me call for about how you may not know any of them. That's right. It is almost chase you off and look and say, when would you think about that? Would you fuma on our corner? Is he and you will not consider that polling station assembly coin is a polling station for any ordinary person because you present somebody you trust most. Exactly. So Ajia must know everybody there. She must. Then we leave it at that. The argument, she cannot prove it. What I say, it's on your ban into one general. And they are born in so either whatever or MPP. So the point is that it's a police arrest Obia. Come on. I just should be able to tell us who chased me person one kasa because my polling agent before. What I say, not say who protect MPP ballots. Okay? Now ya bad be na make us ye too. Ni ya chase bako. And that's why when you pan ya bonne ni so. How would you feel? I should be able to say
a seen a bomb in Nippon. Oh, come on, that one should no, it cannot be that you know Nippon Bow in Nimobia. We must be very fair to ourselves. It's unfortunate. No, it's not unfortunate. But the truth of the matter is that this are nine candidates in Nano, It's never possible. It's never possible. You are missing the issue. No, the intimidation that is no.
You're two. Almost 4-4. To do any more 2 are not that 3 no monetino. Or my depend on my bedinage or mundina. As you say, or confronting police officer, is a police commander or say. Once and comforted or Omunia delegate. Police commander and Catherine say a party finances, a can't party patrons and no more. Meanwhile, Regime Bien was animal corso. And no man be denied as someone be denied. Me point you are saying on the man why can Anka say to your two can Anka say try to justify your Buddhist what happened has the information knows everybody in MPP. For some of everybody knows everybody in MPP. Everybody knows everybody in MPP. This kind of stuff.
Safo, choose between Gomo who show down our Becca home as I'm doing our Becca.
Okay, watch him about.
There be oh,
watch me about the cancer movie.
I don't come. So
no, make is a Mabecan. The boom
come. Somebody have a panel. Come. My name is panel. We are no Babaton showdown. Record of fasten the mebo. Don't worry. Don't worry. How many gallons are best?
Oh, Meka say Felecana, if you are no 20 liters per month. 300 cities. I can't say strategy for another room.
So be a good boy and sit quiet.
Me say strategy for another room.
So you're a good boy, not nice. No one can read.
And I'm saying 20 liters, 300.
And so you're trying to be a good boy. Tenacity, mom, my mom. I feel WAHAB.
Another part time, 10 days.
My time cry is up already.
The point I'm making is say in MPP, everybody knows everybody. What am I say? At least in that arena now, Ajia is not the only supporter of Yura Kennedy Ohine Japan. And in fact, the results will approve say among the delegates, his supporters were there. So Obia, and they say, therefore, if we move together, now so Obi Bo Wasu as our leader in that group, we the remaining ones should be able to point say a Simesi and a ball we as and as a Simesi and a threatening a Simesi. Now for Ajia to just say it, now within the entire group, she cannot mention one person. Only that I reported, I did this, the police said who specifically, and OCC Ajia out. At least because the forces are selling in your dance and the dance here. Supporters of Kennedy when Nebeka said the Ajia kind is true.
Now Obiabeka is false.
Who said it's also true? Who supported the statement? Sometimes on the for party cohesion. So you don't you leave them to go. Now in fact, for them to call Honorable Kennedy Japan to come is because of the misinformation she gave him. And for me, I know how politics is being organized. So Ushe Sika what yes, command delegation crisscrossing the country fuel on Kwan and the people say 20 liters. What's one problem in Tana? Now look at V8, not only one V8. Look at him conform with he is the person who fueled those V8s for them, their hotel and everything. So he has every right to react that way, but he reacted upon misinformation because the evidence are not. At least if he had presented the evidence to Honorable Kennedy Japan, everybody knows who Kennedy.
All right, Mazigi, yeah. I beg to differ. Into that make us say, Sebi, you say, Sebi, you say, Kwasia, Nese, enemy, Nanye, what I say, enemy, Yonko, Anya, enemy. And see, the point is that Ojina Hobi, and Yatu a giant, Yatu Sekai. A day I will be any and I say ya bo obiasum any eman any a2. What I say, ye de aba or no so. Where in criminal law, your friend be attempt, your friend of inchoate offenses. A idea any say AC unt na home and in see. Your friend be conspiracy, your friend be preparation, your friend be attempt, and your friend be abatement. What I say, and the unt nancy. Emma yembe attempting no, you see, ya bo obi ani so, of which a offense said your bo ne so no. Na regional minister etiwo, the head of RISEC, police commander ewo ho. E dey na ye. Enti onhwe wemu na yemfamra ne so. You see, that place was very, very intimidative, and it clearly tells you. Baby, at least one of the 9 aspirants, apart from Baumia, ebenya 1 or 2. It's the opposite of chairman say a whole dear northeast, a whole air Baumia chrome, it's a whole dear no-go area. So may Kadias say the see and NKE. It's Yanshani you may be because the 208,000 betwabano, a chance that 0.04% no. It's Yampen for no. Omontenase na omonhwehwe ensenimu na monfa baby anokredam ento na meka che Aminu say sebi se wako na so we pooling agent on money the ballot of MPP na say ye the way ye no na so we stay alufa etojina. Sorry
Avi, good boy.
For into for me. Somebody, our promise me 300 cents. For me,
promises 9 years. What? Go my calculator.
What calculate it.
Wait.
Oh, I don't know.
What's that?
Oh, you was seriously calculating 3 million.
What's that? And then the boss was say dollar no or locket dollar edikina my GP.
I know the
and who could never be a winning dollar. Want to say you say
show down. Show down.
Show down. Also, what's what I said?
And then my memo 300. We can show down. After her, the other.
So now I'm saying, what did he? And also, when I'm to meet trade, you see, me,
show down, Dabe.
Namiaduma, it's an archery.
It's now that is on the 9th.
On the 9th. A basu giddy. Oh, I mensa. I'm crying. I mensa. The best I said for immense at Tobuto, let their copy the assay. Now commenti podium or
that's right. Me, I'm a showdown speech.
Showdown speech. Now, a titule for mobile.
Ain't for a
jaco baby.
Bedam.
Great ampon eba.
Could you?
Apitus. A plus. Penfobe pre neighbor. A youth now, a passy a J NPP party. Is you. Young man penfobe combo party no for yasi. Because when say wako kwa Land Cruiser kila mwato bidi ya minya bibia and party by one city kwa minya
yo
na wako Land Cruiser entino me media candidate chachi no way tell show that you wien krape na Kumase etwaso.
All right, me that's your honey.
Na Kumase on for route ni mami o.
Kumase dey any dey.
E be selfie.
They will start from stadium.
Near baby or stadium.
Near Befa, near Zambi.
E be stadium near we or stadium.
E be stadium.
Yeah, number 16th.
Yeah.
16th.
Definitely.
We can now to prepare. E gabi o obedo dompem. E na okoji obi sika so be kwakodo no wankodo. Na se mkopia hivi. Eno mbisa say scan agenda by so agenda and na ochi. And then I watch it.
And then I watch it.
And now she said, and kind of no. anyway Kumasi be bash and na showdown t-shirt be brave you go so ya printing they are printing and say asa because esewa me anu ase mani anya de anka mo ho kan kede shemu bi roy
amanfo ani abre pressure
we dem ma we atan say we dem ro ma obi a because in crowd be madina obi bomb obi so me mu say dem we na de no and raw honorable can t-shirt on a penny candidate ultimation t-shirt at the fact
okay yeah sorry
I would mean for put the
way for confaba na me sorry man kwan na onfa
enti order for what person will be joining health work no our Accra and you come must be and wait me for 0598 551 383 0598 551 383 o Francis will be ano you be make so be abenya no can t-shirt ye no be akra na do no medical abane de o bantema no can t-shirt no o benya bi and as a showdown t-shirt na shemi fe kama o benya bi na into the mechanic of Asha say 0598 551 383
Melase
fra near Dinko
just 30 seconds near time na so apa ho
yeah the kan gina ne say baby adru no omo a sabi e commande omo e na e baba beto aba no na ebia going forward in very simple calculation bi actually if I say sika sabi see de brewa yedi bojetri and I would ye juma all this one I'm so last week or last 2 weeks me buy me catcher or say talent na say sikana wo wa yem fam ma read the Bible Matthew chapter 25:4 or my talents or maybe 5 or maybe 2 or maybe 1 5 need the koye juma enya mo ho 5 esa ka ho 2 need the koye juma enya 2 ka 1 or the go see which means say be see so a yeshayema delegates mesre the why be da mesa catcher say Jesus time I will feed 5,000 men no obisa almost said then a woman say amuka see with 2 fish and 5 loaves and our G no shraso it's omo be enyuma youth no ehia no say ne bi etime bie say na yeji efri omo ali sabi omo kakra eno matimi de bie even enyuma ama at least obi akra wo 200 personnel and oti omo ka aka the teaming youth na eba no aye bie free SHS na adodanko adaroma wo bie ma eba se tsunami as say ye build it up no ye besre yen hwe na yen support for the first time a businessman ya try economists for no he said the omu dwane economy na eco digitization ya try lawyers ya try communication experts ya try soldier for the first time yen try will be a politician I employ over 7,000 omuka every month sabi wo say scanner on first scanner enkoto edan wo UK ni ade wo de besi ha ma wonua kakra so enya bi enteno ene ye ka che delegate say yen hwe emo a wayama party no emo a wayama oman no I mean cardio center all those things yet he's not a millionaire ye ka first 25 people are on ka ho but kakra owo no or he's willing to give out.
Okay, may I say Wahab
Mami fa kwenya wisuna there's this young honorable our presidency say Ira Dennis Abuaji. I think he's doing a very good job for the party. He's one of the communicators on WhatsApp or be responding back any document you need to help you advance your argument in defending the good works of this party. Mr. Dennis Abuaji would give it out.
Abuaji
Miracles.
Okay.
It tells you how committed he is to the good cause of this party. Most of the senior communicators are more on crime. They hold on to documents, thinking that they want to come and say it so that they are headed from a CMC. But Mr. Dennis Abuaji believes that he alone cannot do the job because over 1,000 radio and television stations are across the country. So he requires and demands people to also support him. And we need documents. And I recommend him for a Juma. Oh yeah, because when you just send to Dennis Abuaji, I need this document. Even say any same that material movement now, or I assure you, say I will find it out for you. And once he gets it, he send it back to you. That is Dennis Abuaji, and I'm not surprised he's the only communicator these days. Also, Sammy Jemfimwa. Apart and that is a very, and he has a very good future in this sport.
Okay.
Now, we like His Excellency the Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Any candidate that will win this internal contest to become the flag bearer will rely on the foundations Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and writing the progress and also the achievements of MPP without Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is not. And then digitization everywhere in the world makes economy stronger. Now finally I like the showdown work at least it will energize youth going into 2024, because Honorable Kennedy Japan will be giving the tax of Central Region, Northeast, Western North, and Western Region to carry on because I know, said His Excellency Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia sees Yowura Kennedy Ohinejama as an asset and not an enemy to the party, and he will force him to deliver by handing over these 3 regions to Kennedy Japan, and he will deliver them for us.
DMD said he's equally an asset, but Mr. Baby and Pempen, so you see. And no near can was he's a serious asset for the nation. We will never stand anywhere to condemn DMD.
I wish I idea see about my memo Ora Eric and Chibuaite aka Baduketri Abaso Warona Ato a saloon card Yakwakoche a Jesu Team Ken Esa Omo Emfa Enye Ejuma Mwa Team Ken Enji Nyame Insurano Papa Nyame Insurano Ebusaid Nina Esi Hamidindio. Therefore up next Adumre with DJ Amasharo and the crew. You see her Accra.